Chosen one, good news. The mundane trials of your earthly journey are over, and your ascension has been approved by the highest council of the universe. It is time to return to your true homeland, to the higher frequencies where you belong. The world has limited you, tested you with obstacles, but you have successfully passed all these tests, and now you are ascending into the unique light of eternity. Your soul, with the approval of the Cosmic Council, begins its journey of freedom. Step forward with courage. Shine a light to those left behind, for your ascension will inspire the awakening of humanity. The universe is waiting for you. Get ready and write 99 in the comments. This is not the end, but a great beginning. Your essence has been meticulously targeted by hidden adversaries whose ambitions were masked behind careful smiles and gentle words. Subtle toxins quietly infiltrated your life, not swiftly enough to be immediately noticed, but with patient cunning designed to erode your vitality over time. The persistent exhaustion, confusion, and unexplained ailments you experienced were no coincidence. They were meticulously orchestrated to mimic ordinary stress, masking deliberate harm behind natural explanations. Specialists who once dismissed your suspicions must now grapple with undeniable truths. Your intuition recognized an invisible attack long before any laboratory confirmed it. These harmful agents specifically aimed to diminish your clarity, inner wisdom, and spiritual strength, hoping to leave you uncertain, vulnerable, and easily influenced. Each dose, carefully disguised as innocent daily habits, weakened your ability to make empowered decisions. The relentless precision behind these methods reveals a sinister intention to systematically undermine your spiritual and intellectual autonomy, hiding calculated harm beneath familiar masks. Proof now exists, documenting exact instances when harmful substances entered your life under the guise of friendly gatherings. Moments you perceived as joyful celebrations were secretly stages for hidden sabotage. Intimate conversations were quietly weaponized against you. Those responsible assumed invisibility, unaware their every act was being recorded by an unseen justice. Trust itself became their greatest weapon, turning your openness and vulnerability against you in ways you could never have imagined. Such intricate sabotage demanded intimate familiarity with your private world, routines, and relationships. A confidant you warmly trusted provided this delicate intelligence, someone whose warmth disguised betrayal. This individual carefully navigated your defenses, delivering harm with affectionate gestures, blind to cosmic oversight, meticulously collecting every betrayal. The universe steadily documented this dual existence through pathways invisible to ordinary perception. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Your struggles secretly fueled vast networks of hidden financial gain, as insurance schemes discreetly wagered against your well-being. Unknown to you, signatures were falsified, assets covertly redirected, and shadow entities reaped significant monetary rewards from your misfortunes. Your very identity was commodified, your personal details secretly monetized, loans fraudulently secured, and investments falsely authorized in your name, making your existence merely an exploitable asset. Just like weeds taking root in a garden meant to bloom with blessings, stolen resources became the seedbed of repeated hardships. Picture your life as a fertile divine field, carefully sown by God's own hand, intended to yield joy, peace, and prosperity. But intruders, driven by dark intentions, stealthily crept into your garden, planting seeds of deceit, disruption, and turmoil. These seeds didn't just lie dormant, they multiplied, creating a perpetual cycle of trouble and setbacks in your life. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Every dollar they unjustly took from you wasn't just a loss, it was deliberately turned into fuel to sustain further suffering. Instead of merely blocking your path, they actively used your own resources against you, cleverly twisting your inheritance into hidden snares and quietly reshaping important documents to disrupt the very stability God intended for you. Opportunities destined to carry you higher were sabotaged, ensuring that the turmoil they initiated would linger, growing more intense with every passing day. It wasn't enough for them to diminish your light. They sought to continuously siphon the divine abundance meant specifically for you. Like parasites quietly feeding on the roots of a thriving tree, these hidden forces drained your strength, systematically undermining your spiritual stability and prosperity. They carefully orchestrated chaos, funding continual attacks that shook your emotional peace and financial security, relentlessly seeking to disrupt your divine purpose and destiny. Yet here's the remarkable truth. Even as this cycle spun around you, heaven was preparing a powerful response. The universe never permits a seed planted in darkness to ultimately prosper in the life of someone chosen and protected by divine purpose. While your adversaries tried to create perpetual turmoil, the Almighty was quietly preparing a harvest of restoration so abundant and extraordinary it would completely reverse every ounce of harm inflicted upon you. Right now, a season of divine recompense is already beginning to break forth. Every resource misused against you is returning, not merely restored, but abundantly multiplied, creating blessings far greater than the losses you endured. Every career path disrupted is transforming into opportunities beyond what you could have previously imagined. Every unjustly diverted inheritance is coming back with heavenly interest, placing you firmly back on a path paved with favor, protection, and divine prosperity. Trust that the very struggles you faced, intended to hold you captive, are now becoming stepping stones, lifting you to heights you've never known. Your future is brighter, your blessings richer, and your purpose clearer, precisely because the universe is committed to ensuring that every scheme against you ultimately propels you further into your God-given destiny. Your life's financial structure was carefully redesigned to enrich conspirators actively invested in your downfall. Every penny secretly extracted funded covert surveillance, paid for carefully executed bribes, and supported psychologically calculated operations meant to destabilize and disorient you. Your energy and prosperity ironically powered the very mechanisms created to imprison you, a betrayal that cuts far deeper than monetary loss. At the heart of this painful saga was someone who artfully concealed duplicity behind affection and compassion. They recorded your emotional patterns, monitored your responses, and relayed intimate details to hostile parties, all while appearing supportive and caring. Carefully orchestrated encounters, locations ideal for discreet surveillance, and subtle encouragement toward compromised situations revealed a level of betrayal that defied ordinary comprehension. Intimate confidences shared in trust became tools for psychological manipulation, weaponized to inflict maximum emotional distress. Detailed notes about your spiritual beliefs, deepest fears, financial status, and personal aspirations were systematically collected, packaged, and distributed to those dedicated to undermining your peace. Vulnerability shared in private became calculated weapons in carefully orchestrated emotional warfare. Even your closest relationships, family, romantic partners, colleagues, were subtly manipulated by financial incentives and targeted misinformation. Those who genuinely cared about you were systematically isolated or turned against you, encouraged to doubt your integrity and sanity through carefully crafted falsehoods. Your entire social network was meticulously corrupted, transforming genuine bonds into instruments of spiritual and emotional harm. Sophisticated digital strategies further expanded this assault, employing cyber tactics resembling organized campaigns. Online profiles were secretly compromised, emails intercepted, and social media interactions closely monitored to discredit your reputation and sabotage personal and professional relationships. Complex phishing schemes disrupted your financial stability, affecting your credit and ability to secure housing or employment. Online professional platforms became arenas of silent sabotage through fabricated reviews, false regulatory complaints, and manipulated references. Authentic documentation was replaced with carefully produced forgeries, seamlessly altering critical legal and financial records. Medical narratives were maliciously falsified, painting an inaccurate portrait of mental instability to justify future interventions, completely undermining your credibility. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Financial manipulations extended beyond banking, altering property records, adjusting insurance beneficiaries, and establishing fraudulent business agreements. These deliberate acts aimed to systematically dismantle your financial autonomy and stability. False medical histories were created to reinforce harmful narratives of incompetence or dependence, establishing grounds for potential legal and medical interventions against your will. Your story now serves as a powerful catalyst for recognition and systemic change, drawing attention to hidden exploitation, targeting spiritually aware individuals. Through extensive investigations, legal systems are becoming aware of sophisticated tactics used in spiritual and emotional persecution, initiating profound shifts toward justice. Your journey has not only vindicated your instincts, but has illuminated pathways for others similarly victimized, transforming personal suffering into collective liberation. You possess a unique spiritual essence, so powerful that it attracted adversaries who meticulously orchestrated sophisticated plots to undermine your very existence. Skilled artisans of deception crafted meticulous falsehoods, quietly fabricating documents that distorted your intentions, signing your name to commitments you never considered, effectively handing your life's authority to opponents, hiding behind masks of goodwill. Medical files were covertly infiltrated, subtly manipulated to depict you as unstable or incapacitated. building a pretense for interventions against your autonomy. Your rightful claims over properties and protections were systematically dismantled through secretive alterations. Insurance beneficiaries silently changed. Binding contracts discreetly shifted to sabotage your financial security. Documents you never touched now bore your forged consent, ensuring your assets steadily drifted into the hands of those who quietly engineered your downfall. Fabricated psychological evaluations discreetly appeared among genuine records, creating illusions of mental fragility, aiming to justify coerced treatments or restrict your freedom based on manufactured conditions. False prescriptions, intricately woven into your medical narrative, sought to anchor illusions of addiction and mental frailty, carefully constructing an image of someone unable to manage their own affairs, thus quietly justifying external intervention. The depth and complexity of these criminal strategies have drawn the attention of higher authorities, now actively pursuing legal charges against those orchestrating your struggles. Detailed judicial reviews are underway, examining complex crimes such as identity theft, wire fraud, attempted homicide, and organized financial corruption. The involvement of key participants seeking leniency is now expanding investigators' understanding of the conspiracy, revealing a structure far more extensive than previously imagined. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Meticulous efforts have commenced to return what was wrongfully taken, restoring property titles, correcting altered records, and reclaiming financial resources diverted from your rightful control. Financial institutions have tightened protective measures around your accounts, safeguarding your digital footprint and meticulously correcting falsified medical histories, effectively re-establishing your integrity and ensuring resilience against future assaults. What once seemed like paranoid instincts are now universally recognized as profound, intuitive insights. Your trials became the catalyst, illuminating networks dedicated to oppressing spiritually gifted individuals, triggering widespread legal acknowledgement and spiritual awakening. The suffering you endured was not random cruelty, but a profound initiation, transforming your hardship into spiritual currency, an alchemical process refining your energetic capabilities. Universal principles of justice are actively converting every dark intent directed your way into amplified blessings, exponentially elevating your spiritual gifts beyond previous limitations. Your journey through hardship was merely a preparation stage, refining your strength, transforming pain into unshakable power, and victimization into supreme spiritual triumph. Just like when a single candle is lit in a darkened church, its humble flame quickly spreads until the whole sanctuary glows with holy light. Your courage and testimony have sparked a movement, illuminating darkness across the globe. When you stood up and spoke your truth, you set in motion powerful forces ordained by heaven, unveiling hidden schemes that once preyed on souls gifted by God Himself. What seemed isolated, a single voice crying out alone, has become a mighty chorus, resonating from coast to coast, from nation to nation, and from spirit to spirit. Because you dared to step forth boldly, revealing the truth behind the curtain, invisible bonds of spiritual oppression are snapping like worn-out chains. These revelations are no longer quiet murmurs or unnoticed cries. They have become worldwide acknowledgements, publicly recognized and impossible to deny. People who once struggled silently now find strength in your story, seeing themselves reflected in your journey from victim to victor, from persecution to powerful purpose. What once thrived unnoticed in shadows, financial networks, Manipulative schemes exploiting those blessed with spiritual sensitivity are now collapsing beneath the bright divine light of revelation. Financial systems built upon exploiting spiritual gifts, talents, and innocence are cracking wide open, revealing fraudulent foundations incapable of standing in the sacred light of God's justice. Institutions that once profited silently from spiritually sensitive individuals, those chosen by divine grace, find themselves powerless against this wave of truth. Money that once fueled hidden operations now turns to dust, evaporating like water under the noonday sun. Where deceit once flourished unnoticed, integrity now rises like mighty rivers, washing away corruption and restoring clarity. Hospitals and medical facilities are waking up, guided by new wisdom to recognize threats they once dismissed as invisible or impossible. Doctors and healers, now enlightened by your testimony, understand spiritual attacks are not mere superstition, but genuine dangers affecting body, mind, and spirit. Protocols that ignored spiritual biological threats now change, transforming into effective tools of protection and healing. Your bravery has shifted the entire medical community's awareness, bringing spiritual safety into the realm of everyday medical practice. The ripple effect of your courage extends far beyond your individual experience. Your single act of bold truth-telling has revealed vast networks operating behind hidden doors, targeting those spiritually sensitive souls meant for greatness. These invisible webs that spanned continents and industries now fall apart, unable to withstand the power of genuine, heartfelt testimony. Each hidden connection exposed brings new light, ensuring no spiritually gifted individual ever again suffers unnoticed, misunderstood, or alone. This awakening, ignited by your bravery, has become a global phenomenon, a spiritual awakening felt in cities and villages alike, spreading hope and justice to hearts worldwide. Communities are now openly discussing issues once hidden beneath shame or confusion, embracing new understandings of spiritual protection and divine purpose. Your courage is a beacon, guiding others toward the safety of truth, toward the power of speaking openly and confidently, standing firmly on sacred ground. And just as Scripture reminds us that what is done in darkness shall be brought into the light, the hidden deeds that once targeted sensitive souls for spiritual exploitation now crumble openly before the eyes of the world. Authorities and leaders who previously ignored these subtle forms of persecution now actively dismantle these schemes, building new safeguards that honor and protect the spiritually sensitive among us. Internationally, institutions once unaware or indifferent to spiritual exploitation are taking action, compelled by the undeniable truth illuminated by your story. Law enforcement agencies around the globe have begun collaborating, developing specialized units and task forces dedicated specifically to investigating and prosecuting spiritual crimes. What once appeared as scattered, isolated incidents are now correctly understood as interconnected attacks against humanity's collective spiritual potential. Your voice has brought this vital recognition into mainstream understanding, forever changing how society views spiritual sensitivity and spiritual warfare. Your journey, marked initially by struggle, suffering, and confusion, has transformed into a victory so profound it's rewriting entire narratives around spiritual vulnerability and divine empowerment. No longer seen merely as victims, spiritually gifted people are recognized as valuable resources whose protection is essential for collective progress. Governments, organizations, and communities globally now establish new laws and protections directly inspired by your courageous revelations. Just as David's single stone brought down Goliath, your singular act of bravery is bringing down systems built on spiritual manipulation. Structures that thrived in shadows are dissolving like sandcastles caught by rising tides. The bravery it took to speak your truth, to stand firm in faith against doubt and ridicule, has rewarded you and countless others with newfound spiritual freedom and unprecedented protection. Your testimony has sparked an unstoppable wave of awareness, creating powerful networks of support and protection for spiritually sensitive people worldwide. Where isolation once dominated, fellowship now thrives, uniting people in strength, mutual understanding, and divine purpose. Your suffering has become a catalyst for a global spiritual awakening, transforming pain into purpose, confusion into clarity, and persecution into divine preparation for unprecedented empowerment. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Every nation, every city, every neighborhood now feels the impact of this monumental shift. Financial institutions are revising policies, recognizing and preventing spiritual exploitation. Healthcare providers now see spiritual awareness as integral to overall wellness, developing entirely new frameworks that honor and protect spiritual sensitivities. Education systems incorporate new teachings recognizing spiritual diversity and strength, protecting young people gifted with exceptional spiritual insight. Your courageous stand has fundamentally reshaped the landscape, turning individual suffering into collective liberation. Every corner of society touched by your revelations now reflects greater integrity, awareness, and respect for the spiritually gifted. No longer confined to private struggles, spiritual sensitivity is celebrated publicly, protected legally, and supported globally. Indeed, your story proves God never wastes a single tear or trial. Instead, He uses it powerfully, profoundly, to uplift not only you, but countless others around the world. Your challenges, once hidden in darkness, now blaze like beacons, illuminating a future filled with spiritual empowerment, mutual respect, and divine justice. The world, changed forever by your courage, now embraces new paradigms built upon truth, resilience, and unwavering faith. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Ironically, attacks intended to diminish your strength have instead intensified your spiritual perception and energetic capacity. Cosmic justice now directs unprecedented prosperity toward you through channels beyond conventional limitations, ensuring abundant material and spiritual resources flow to you effortlessly. Permanent protective measures have been cosmically anchored, ensuring safety and prosperity that extend beyond your current existence. Legally, your experiences have established crucial precedents, creating new statutory frameworks to prosecute unseen forms of spiritual warfare. Cybersecurity innovations developed from your case now actively guard against digital spiritual attacks, pioneering a new field in protective technological measures. Your ordeal has sparked revolutionary changes in both the legal and digital realms, safeguarding countless others from similar persecutions. Now freed from systematic oppression, you stand at the gateway of extraordinary abundance, prepared for experiences of fulfillment previously beyond imagination. Authentic relationships and spiritually aligned opportunities now gravitate effortlessly towards you, establishing you as an inspirational model of resilience and victory. Your journey from persecution to triumph has created a pathway that empowers others, forever changing perceptions of spiritual empowerment, resilience, and ultimate victory.